Okay, here we go. Turning into Asmongold 5.0. Playing the video. HD full screen with my chat. Can I have my chat open with the full screen? How does Asmongold do it? He doesn't do full screen. Full screen is noob. Sorry. Okay, it's like this. Put the chat here. Are you good, chat? You guys ready? Is everyone here? You guys grab your popcorns? Okay.
Drink and Snuts and Wealthy Man both in a lot of trouble here. Mana completely tapped for Cubsy despite his drinks earlier. He actually gets counterspell. Drake rolls in with the counterspell. They're on match point. They look to close against Cloud9. Ceralium Soul Shapes in for a Dragon's Breath. There's the Paralyzed. They're going to connect. Drake gets stunned off, but he's dispelled. Meteor is about to come down. Big hit actually onto Drake. It's Wealthy Man's Meteor. They're turning it around. Drake.
Oh! It's declined on all of them.
Out of all the videos I've made, I can bet you that this one will really be the video that nearly all WoW players can relate to. And I really, and I mean really, need your help on this one. So please stay till the end and I'll explain how you can help. But just like you, I spend hours every night running in circles watching Twitch streams. I'll pull up a Venruki stream, watch him try out Frost Mage even though I know it sucks, get excited, and then alt-tab back into World of Warcraft, only to realize I can't do the same. And no, I don't mean play Frost Mage. What I mean is just,
play the game.
Play Arena, or really any form of competitive PvP for that matter. The same can be said about Mythic Plus. I'll check my buddies list, see that no one is online to play, scrim through the LFG section, don't see anyone that matches, I then go back to Twitch, and the cycle continues, realizing that I want to play the game, but I honestly can't. Despite popular belief, I don't have a team or partners. In fact, my buddies list really isn't that impressive. I have a couple people on there, but not enough to really have consistent queues. And trust me, I've tried. I may play 3v3 Arena on my main character like once per week. Now as I'm saying this, I realize a lot of other players have it even worse. And what I mean by that is, I have all of the achievements. I have the experience that I can link when people ask, I always play meta classes, and I have the ability to reroll because of my stream. And the reason I do reroll frequently is because I just can't stand waiting around because my class isn't desirable with the current LFG system. But let's for a moment think about the person that has none of these. They have no achievements, they spend all the time they have after work grinding out a class that just sucks, and even if they want to reroll, it's going to take them forever to catch up, even with the catch-up systems currently in place. I hear a lot of rank 1 players tell the community, you just have to grind it, bro. I had to do that years ago back in MOP. But that was nearly 8 years ago. The game was much different back then. LFG was recently introduced after they rid the game of arena teams, and players are just much better nowadays. Some players have achievements from years ago that honestly don't mean much in today's standards. But it is something they hold on to, and they expect to play with players of that same caliber despite the fact that they have no relevant experience currently. And although all the information is out there, you have Twitch streams, you have YouTube guides, you have experts at every class willing to answer your questions, that does not remove the main barrier to entry.
This is really well edited.
Finding a consistent group of people willing to play and learn. In almost every other game, you have all the information available, but you also have the ability to practice every day. You can play till 2 AM till your eyes look like SpongeBob from the I Need It episode. There's nothing stopping you from practicing. But in WoW, not only do you have to work to learn the game, you also have to work to actually play the game. This exists for both Mythic Plus and PvP. I would argue that the best WoW Arena player, some Zoomer who has all the potential, may simply never get the chance to play.
You know what the solution is, right? To fix solo queue. Solo queue.
Solo queue.
Solo queuing threes?
Yes.
Solo queuing, just solo
Any
queuing.
solo queue.
You know, the best player in WoW is not one of the guys who's top rated. It's just some guy playing, but he can't.
So true, chat. The best player in the game might be you right now watching, but you cannot get into PvP because there's so much barrier entries. Link achievement, link this, link that, get this gear, get this much verse. So hard to get into. If you had Soloque and you could just play, I swear there would be people like popping off left and right. It's like the story I told yesterday, where up until WOD, I didn't really have good Q sesh, but I found this Russian Cupid team, healer, and a hunter. and then I popped off. All my training was for that moment, and we pushed so far. So like right now, some of you guys might be super good, but just don't have team to play with. It sucks.
Any teams because he doesn't have any experience and no one will play with him because it's like this high echelon of like high tip PvP players.
Anyone on our chats right now is like the next like fat like good player and they just don't have the opportunity to be it because they can't play with anyone.
The best player in the game right now is some random, like 100%.
Yeah.
Now, you would think Blizzard would do everything in their power to make this group finder tool as effective as possible. It is essentially the player base's vehicle to the end game content. You know, the juicy stuff. The reason you purchased the game in the first place. Well, in this case, you would be wrong. And if you're a longtime WoW player, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
This is really good video, Stoopzz. I like that.
The LFG tool is severely outdated. It has so many issues. Now, before we get into how to solve the LFG system, let's talk about a special game mode that many of you know my friend Savix and I have been talking about for several years now. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the concept of Soloque.
Soloque legend!
Wait, what am I saying? You should already know what Soloque is. And that is because literally every successful competitive PvP game offers this feature. It is a matchmaking system that pairs you with other players so you can play solo whenever you want. It gives you the ability to practice any time of the day and allows for newcomers who have zero experience to partake in the bronze hell elo climb all the way to silver, just to tank back down the next day. Jokes aside, it is a system that I've been advocating for quite some time now. Spend more time waiting than you even do playing, and that is a massive issue. Let me take you back to a time where it was actually a possibility and there was a lot of discussion surrounding it. March 10th, 2017, when lead PvP developer Brian Halinka sat down with the community manager Lore during a Legion Q&A. And I miss those so much, the Q&As that is. Now don't get me wrong, I appreciate the current Q&As we get today. Well, where are the Q&As today? Whatever, that's besides the point. I miss the ones with Halinka because they were PvP focused. In reality, there are a ton of features or systems that players dislike in WoW today. Warfronts as an example. The only difference between Warfronts and Ashran was that we knew who was partially responsible for Ashran, and because of that, Halinka received all the backlash publicly, but at least he tried, and I seriously appreciated that.
At least Ashran was PvP, even though Ashran was bad and people didn't like it because we were like forced to do it kind of, but at least it was PvP. Warfront is literally player versus bots. I thought it was gonna be PvP, dude. Yeah, I don't think Ashran was terrible. Warfront is dude, if they spend Island Expedition and Warfront like time into that, into Soloque, that would have been way more profitable.
Now, during this PvP-focused Q&A, Halinka talked about Soloque with an open mind. He was honest and transparent. During this Q&A, he stated that they were open to the idea, but it would take a lot of work to ensure the proper systems were in place for handling situations of toxicity and proper matchmaking. He then went on to say that he would not deny that if there was a solo queue system in place for World of Warcraft, more players would be participating in rated battlegrounds and arena than currently. This gave the assumption that perhaps we could see something like this in the future. What happened to this? What happened to this idea? What happened to Halinka or the communication from those working on PvP?
So to do solo queue for either of those two brackets,
I remember watching this with Stoopzz. We were like holding hands, yelling. I thought we were gonna get Soloque, man. We were like we were so close to it, chat. We were so close. We did such a good job as a community asking for it, and he answered like he knows that there would be more people participating in PvP. That was like the quote. I remember it in my head.
Going to have a healer problem.
Right.
That could be solved, we think, by trying to incentivize people to play healers, giving them extra benefits, extra rewards. Certainly something we can address, but that is something we're going to have to identify and solve in that situation.
Indeed, DPS queues would be longer with a solo queue system when compared to healers, but you could easily incentivize healers in this separate bracket. Although there is incentivization in itself with getting faster queue times, like tanks or healers when joining Pug dungeon groups. You could create a separate MMR for different specs so players could try out different, well, why not just do it for RPGs at first?
Yes.
Perhaps a 6v6 or 7v7 format like they suggested they would do several years ago. And even when it comes to arena, let's not all pretend that half of the community at the top end doesn't already queue snipe or dodge other teams based on matchups. You already have unfavorable matchups.
Yes.
You can queue with the current system as a group, and across from you in the arena could be another team that completely counters your comp. How is that any different than solo queue? One game you could get a comp that works extremely well, and another game it could be lackluster. This happens in almost every other game. You can get a good hand in Hearthstone one match and then a bad hand the next. You can have a good comp in League one match and then the next match not so much. And in regards to toxicity that comes from systems like this, that already exists in the game today. LFG is inherently toxic. You could be waiting for hours to get into a group just to have someone call you bad and leave after one game. And unlike League, which averaged from 25 to 40 minutes per game, an average arena match is only 3 to 5 minutes. I think the length of the match should be considered when discussing toxicity that exists in other games. Nevertheless, a system like this should be in the game with a proper reporting system that would punish other players for their negative behavior, not an automated system. Maybe not this expansion, but at least in the next one. And besides, I'm sure a lot of people would prefer playing with friends or teammates like they do in other games if they had the ability to do so. I know I do, but if I can't, does that mean I shouldn't play at all? But enough on that. What can we do today to solve the current
That would have been
problems?
perfect if you did, but enough talk on that.
LFG. What is
And then you
something that
start
can be
chugging.
implemented in a future patch or mid-expansion
that?
similar to what they did with the auction house revamp in 8.3? Why should players have to do any of the work to find a group? And no, I don't mean actually doing the social aspect of things. I mean the dirty work, like going to check PvP to see if this Dema Warlock.
Everybody, the chat. Type 1 in the chat if you do this. You go to, maybe not everyone, but all my friends do this. We all, whenever somebody signs up, we armory them. And just, it should be in the system, dude.
Is actually 2K
Oh my
experience,
god, that's
or
so
websites
funny.
like ArenaMate or ZunaMate. Also, why should players be forced to sit in
That's
the LFG
so
section
funny you pointed that out. They sign up, you immediately Zunamate or type their name in Arena, check their CR and rating, everything.
for hours without being able to
That's so
queue
funny.
and do anything else fun in the game? Most of the time, you'll see posts of people that are alt-tabbed while they're waiting in LFG, probably watching Castlevania on Netflix because that show owns, and who doesn't like vampire chicks? When you create an LFG posting, you can't do anything else in the game outside of world quests. You can't do a BG or raid. You also can't look to see what other groups are being posted if your group is currently posted. Also, what if that person who would be interested in queuing with you isn't currently in LFG? What if they're in a raid, or the Maw, or in Torghast? What if that person isn't currently online, but would be more than happy to find someone who's looking to grow as a team? Well, let me introduce you to Tinder. I mean, the newly designed LFG system. So here's my pitch. You post your information in the LFG section, you list your relevant experience, the class you'd like to be paired with, or the classes you'd like to be paired with, perhaps a couple notes about yourself so the players could read a little bit about you, and what your current rating is. The game would then find matches for you throughout the day. Every day,
Yo, I would love that. This sounds fun.
as long as you have an active post going.
I like that.
Then throughout the day, it would let you
Oh
know
my god, I
if you've matched
like
with
that
10
a
to 15
lot.
people
Oh
or
my god, dude, this is okay. I like this a lot. At first, I was like, this sounds goofy, but this is so cool.
regardless of the content you're currently doing.
This
Perhaps
is
a
brilliant.
notification on the side of your screen. And you
This
can
is
then choose
brilliant.
to message them if you were interested in playing with them after reading a little bit about
This
them.
is brilliant.
Now here's the catch. You could also have this system running while you're offline. That way, when you go to sleep or log in the next day, it would let
I
you
like
know that you
that.
perhaps have matched with.
You know, they already have this for guild signups, right? I think they can implement it so easily. They have it for guild signups, right, chat? Where you can sign up in guilds where you're like, if they're offline or online, whatever.
Say 30 people. The game does all the work
Blizzard could do this easily. They already have this.
for you that you would have to do in the LFG section by yourself. This could also work with Mythic Plus and PvP. Every day you would log on and you would see that there's maybe 30 to maybe 50 players interested in pursuing the same type of content you want to do. But this way, you also keep the social aspect of the game, and you also get to choose who you want to play with. And most importantly, you don't have to spend all of your time looking and waiting. Essentially, your game time for the day has already been mapped out each time you log on. This system is already miles better than what we have today. Obviously, I'm no developer, but I think you can
You know what
also
I don't like about our LFG right now? If, for example, every time I do RBG, it takes a while to fill up 10 people. I stream so I could grab anyone in stream easily, but when I want to play off stream and I'm trying to get 10 people, it can take an hour or two or even longer, right? But when I'm in that LFG thing, I can't do quests. Like, you can't do anything. It sucks. Do you understand what I mean, chat? Like, you can't do world quests. You can't do your homework. No, nothing. You just have to sit and do nothing. Kind of sucks.
That what we currently have is just outdated and really is bleeding out the game and its end game content. Now here's where I ask
That's what I do. Run around, bros. That's what I do every time.
for your help. To the people on the World of PvP Reddit's page, I know I may make videos that not everyone shares the same point of view, but you guys have been a big help in the past. You pushed my vendor videos, and because of your help, we saw change. I owe you all so much. This also goes to those of you on the official WoW forums page. To my friends on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, your sharing of my videos is what caught the attention of the community on important topics. Not everyone will agree on everything, and I know that. But I think we can all agree that something needs to be done about the current LFG system. It's filled with boosters, advertisers, and players posing with fake achievements and experience. With your help pushing this video, maybe we can start the conversation to promote positive change. And in order for a video to grow on YouTube at my level, it needs to be shared externally. That's how the algorithm works. And YouTube is my way of speaking up for the community. It's currently the best outlet I have. I don't care about the views, I care about the impact. Now this could blow up in my face, but I'm willing to take that chance before my time in this game is done. I believe WoW can grow as a game and not be this cyclical pump and dump product. World of Warcraft
WoW has so much potential. I love this game, but I feel like they spend their budget on the wrong things. This game could be, I love it, it's so good, but it could be better.
is a great game when you can play it, but most of the time you're just doing chores because, well, that is really all you can do by yourself. But people want to do the good stuff, at least in modern WoW, is raiding, Mythic Plus, and PvP. And how you find most of your groups is through this LFG system. But unfortunately, and in my opinion, that system has failed many of you. And I think it is honestly time for change. I appreciate all of your time. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate those of you willing to support this video. Take care.
That was a good video. You should post this now. I want to link it, but it's not out yet. He didn't put it out yet. He gave it to me to preview it, but that video was so well made. So well. Dude, this is like a great presentation. This needs to be paying you, Stoopzz. They need to be paying you. You're doing their job, man. Yeah, I don't know why we don't get this Soloque system or a better LFG system. It's just so outdated. You guys all agree, right? One in the chat if you agree. I don't think you said anything bad. I don't think there's... Why would anyone blow up on you? A little preview. Dude, that was a little preview for the chat. This is a first look premiere VIP seat with the boys. Yeah, I don't think anyone will be mad at that, Stoopzz. That was fantastic. Hopefully we hear some good stuff in BlizzCon this Friday, chat.